First off, I'm like super honored that this is pretty much the first collaboration that you've ever done.
I rarely do like work with other artists, but I was really drawn to you because you're, it's good, and I'm also.
Yeah.
So it's good.
You have very angelic vocals.
Well, you have a really nice voice as well. It's very unique and weird, which is cool.
It's very breathy.
Yeah.
I have a very breathy voice.
Yeah, it's very nice. And mine is very sharp. So I think they're very nice together.
Yeah.
Like a cloud holding a knife.
Yeah. You know, there's a generational difference between a lot of parents that affects their child's love life in a lot of instances, especially one that's fueled by belief or religion or just plain, boomerism. So this song is really describing the dynamic of your partner getting flack and that returning to you. In some situations, extreme situations, getting kicked out of their own house because of sexual relations or premarital sexual relations. Originally, I wrote it like very improvisationally, right on the spot with another producer. I sent it over and with a blank that I produced out specifically for what I thought I wanted to hear female vocals, and Aurora perfectly matched that aesthetic.
I really like the song. I'm very dedicated to battling shame because I'm so upset with all the different ways we are shaming, especially about the beautiful things that makes us human, like love and sex. And it could be so pure and lovely, and all of these weird shamings just ruins such a perfectly beautiful, naturally wild thing. I love the message of the whole song. Sex is cool.
Sex is cool.
Tell me, is your father a good man? It's surprising how little he seems to understand.
I always like when the first line has a little bit of like captivation or shock value, and in a lot of relationships you want to know the reality of who you're dating, and often a reflection of that can be their parents. And a lot of the times is actively involved in a lot of their decision making if they still have a stronghold grasp on their child. With parenting, it's a fine line you have to walk. In most of my relationships, I've met parents who struggle recognizing their child as an individual, especially coming into adulthood. Is your parenting part of the equation? Is your father a good man?
His daughter was my savior.
There's a biblical parallel with me saying your daughter was my savior. Obviously a double meaning, a metaphor, seeing as there was a conflict of interest, but I thought it was similar because in a lot of ways she was my savior in that moment. I was very, very socially inept, still am. This was a first experience for me, like getting out of my shell during my youth.
Sure, she can be a little indecisive, but I don't have to make her choose, 'cause
she has had moments where she is directly influenced by her parents. She's indecisive, but I don't have to make her choose because I have faith in this situation. She needs to find herself as an individual and stop being ruled by a few things that did have a lot of influence on her growing up, and in turn had a lot of influence on our relationship.
Oh, this is how it goes. Watching it unfold, playing my own role.
This is how it goes really was a moment of knowing a fallout will occur, knowing that I will get into a conflict with the parents, and just waiting for the inevitable. And that's what occurred over dinner. It was a very awkward dinner. They had caught us. I'd been caught in the act. Got to the point where they were asking her to break up with me or move out. And they kicked her out. This is how it goes, watching it unfold, playing my own role.
Dum dum diddy dum dum diddy daddy dum.
That was almost like a nursery rhyme, and Just phonetically, it sounded fun, the alliteration. I was playing a little dialogue in my head. Daddy, don't make me leave this home. Don't kick me out. I can be better.
Make me leave this home. This is what you chose. I can't let him go. Dum dum diddy dum dum diddy daddy dum.
The father coming down on her. This is what you chose. You have to live with the consequences. Then her coming back. I can't let him go. Driven by love, not logic, pure emotion and instinct in this situation.
In our house, the quiet is so loud. I think I was imagining this whole thing from the girl's perspective, being reprimanded by a parent, or being like disapproved of or disowned. It's such an extremely painful thing to go through. And that silence around the dinner table that I'm imagining, this uncomfortable silence where you're not allowed to express yourself or to speak your mind or speak your truth or be who you are and be human, be normal even. I'll never hear a single word you want to shout. I was thinking both from the father's perspective that you'll never get to hear, like his anger is kind of endless because he will never understand, but also that he'll never hear every single word she wants to shout because she will never be given the space to be understood or to speak her mind. Oh God, you're just a child. I kind of wanted to scare the listener a bit in the song. I'm imagining that's how it feels for her to constantly be called a child when she is not anymore. Is this very undignifying way of kind of taking control over a child as a parent simply because you can. Oh, he can be a little too invasive. When I heard Suburban's Pre for the first time, oh, she can be a little indecisive. I just loved the way that word kind of tickled my mind, and I loved the way it tasted in my mouth. And I really wanted to recreate that phonetically pleasingness. It was just fun to flip the perspective around. Oh, he can be a little too invasive. And that's probably why she's a little indecisive. And I just want to live. For me, when I added the little, I just want to live, it's kind of to explain how little we are asking for. It's such a small question, it's such a small demand to ask for respect and ask for freedom to do what you want with your lovely body and soul. This song talks about such an important topic, and it's weird to me that it's even a topic we need to write about, but we do. So I try to make a yin to his yang by saying he can be a little too invasive, because I love when words both connect phonetically as well. It's very intriguing for the mind.